The Breguet-19 was first shown to the aviation world in 1921. It utilised duralumin in its design, as well as doped fabric. It was a large plane for being only a two-seater. The prototype came with a 16-cylinder 450 horsepower engine. This came with a 4-bladed propeller. Problems with cooling and vibration were discovered. This was because the 16 cylinders was actually two 8-cylinder engines. The power plant was replaced by a 12-cylinder engine that also created 450 horsepower. There were two planned versions, a bomber and a reconnaissance one. Along with this there would be several engine options. They would also extend the fuselage by another 2 feet. The company had faith in the design and it began building 11 before orders actually came in. After air trials in 1922 were completed, an order for 112 aircraft was placed. It did not take long for there to be international interest. Some countries were rebuilding their air forces after the Great War, others were now creating an air force. Yugoslavia expressed interest, and Spain signed a licensing agreement to build the 19 after it was the clear winner at a contest in 1923. The middle of 1928 had almost 2,000 Breguet 19s built in France, while 1,100 of them were exported. Yugoslavia had ordered 100 planes, Romania would take 50, and in 1924 China ordered 70. They would see combat against the Japanese. Poland would build a strong force around the Breguet 19. They took part in some training exercises in 1939, but were not involved in the defence of Poland against Nazi Germany. Greece, Turkey, Bolivia, Venezuela. Spain was very fond of the aircraft and would only cease production in 1935. (1936) would see the Breguet 19 flying for both the Nationalists and the Republicans. However, as much more modern aircraft would enter the war, the 19 was obviously outclassed and was withdrawn from service. One area the type had excelled in was long-distance flights, and several impressive flights had been made. Because of the interest this caused, especially on the international scene, it was decided to create a purpose-built long-distance version. 3 airframes would be modified to carry extra fuel, 2,915 litres instead of 440 litres. The first pushed the record to 4,750 kilometres, and then again to 5,396 kilometres. A round-the-world flight in 1926 of 57,000 kilometres. The most famous Breguet 19 is a long-distance aircraft named Question Mark. The flight in 1929 was sponsored by Coty, which was a perfume company, for a distance of 7,905 kilometres. Production ended in 1932 and was essentially phased out by 1935. The last unit saw very limited action against the Germans during the Yugoslavian campaign in 1941. The Breguet 19 is not very well remembered. and outside of the long-distance records, there does not seem to have been much impact. But in the years after World War I, it played an important role in modernising several air forces.